What is up, Cubemino community? Welcome back to the channel. And today I'll be doing a cubing tutorial for the first time in this channel's history. This is the first ever tutorial I'm doing, so please do in mind. If it is bad, please tell me if it is. But let's hope that YouTube does not cancel my comment section, so let's pray for that. Anyways, let's get on with the tutorial. So the tutorial is about cubing, of course, so we are going to learn basic 3x3 notations. What are notations? They are the letters in an algorithm that make the cube move around. So like this. So that's an algorithm that's called T-perm. And basically that followed a set of moves that I will put up on the screen. Here now, there's a T-perm. But basically it goes like this. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, and F prime. Now, what was I saying? Okay, let me fix this. T prime, T perm. What was I saying? Was those just a bunch of like random letters? No, those are notations. So notations are the layers of the cube, or the faces, like top, down, right, left, front, and back. Those are the faces of the cube. And whenever you see like a normal letter with no special thing on it, that means just to turn the layer clockwise. R, L, D, U, B, F. Then if you see an apostrophe next to it, that means to turn the layer counterclockwise or downwards. R prime, L prime, D prime, F prime, B prime, and U prime. And then if you see a 2 next to the letter, that means to perform the sequence of move twice, like R2, U2, D2, F2, B2, and L2. Now that's just the standard notation for the 3x3 and the 2x2, but when it comes to 4x4 and 5x5 and 6x6 and 7x7, I don't have a 6x6, but I will buy one soon. They have special notations that have a W next to them, which means that you should do a wide move, like this. They still apply to the same notations as the 3x3 and 2x2, with if it has an apostrophe, if it has an apostrophe, you do the opposite of the normal notation, and if it has an R, and if it has a 2 next to it, then you do the move twice, like R2, like that. And how you see these notations on the bigger cubes is, if it's a wide move, then it will pronounce it as RW or RW2, RW prime, and so on and so forth. For 7x7 and 6x6, there's also a notation as RW3. Now that doesn't mean that you turn the layer 3 times. It means turns the amount of layers 3 once, like 1, 2, 3, turn. But if it's an RW3, if it's an RW23, like RW23, it means turn like this, like a double move. And that's for the end by end or the layered puzzles. Next is the cube. Now, if you're all confused about how the cube moves, this is okay. So let me show you how the cube moves. This is your U. This is your L. This is your right, and this is your back. There is no F in this one, because that would be way too confusing, by the way. So the normal notation stands, but since they're on a cube and the cube turns like this, that basically is that's basically a bit weird for beginner cubers, but I promise you will get used to it. So this is how you do notations on a cube: R prime, L prime, and then for the U prime, B, and B prime. Next is Megaminx. If you've seen a scramble of a Megaminx before, you might be confused why the scramble is like R++, D-. It means to turn like the right side layer like this. Hold on. Like this. So if it's an R++, you move that layer up by 2. If it's an R-, move the whole puzzle downwards. If it's D++, move the puzzle to the left side, like the whole puzzle, and then if it's a D-, it moves to the right side. And then at the end of each scramble, you'll see a U, so you just turn this just once. And finally, we're on to Pyraminx. On Pyraminx, it's basically very simple. You just have your normal L, R, U, U, and B. But what's different is that you have like these smaller letters. That means that refers to the tips of the Pyraminx. So basically like this. So that's U, that's L, R, and B. And now I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough solve on the 3x3. Obviously, since this tutorial is about notations, might as well give a walkthrough solve on the 3x3 and explain what I'm doing along the way. So let me just scramble up my 3x3, and here we are scrambled. So the first thing you want to do is that you want to line up the edges. I suggest you start on Y cross first because the method I'm about to teach you is CFOP. It means cross, first 2 layers, orient last layer, and permute last layer. And in short, those will be called cross, F2L, OLL, and PLL. So let me start off with the cross. So when you're making the cross, you always have to make sure of whatever color cross you're making. For me, I'm making my cross on the white center. You have to get the piece with that color alongside the piece of the center that you're going to attach it to. As you can see, there are already 2 done, blue and white, so I can just insert them like this. So the next is orange and white, and the orange center is here, so you just inserted that in. And then finally, the red one is obviously right here, and you can just do it down. And then next is first 2 layers, or F2L. So I'm going to do this as a beginner style because I do not want to confuse my audience. So basically what you want to do is, basically you insert the corner of the 3 colors, like this is orange, blue, and white. So you find the corner with the exact 3 colors and you insert it in. Next, the same procedure, and when it's like this, you just do a bunch of moves to correct it and put it in the right position. And that's just the same for all the corners. You can just make it until you make your first layer. Next, you put in the edges corresponding to those color of the side corners. So you move 1 layer away, and then you put in the corner. Now you might be thinking, oh, you took out this corner and edge. Don't worry, we'll put them back at the last step. So you just do that for every single part of the cube. So here's red and green. So you find the red and green edge, which is over here. You move it out, spin the empty spot at the corner, and then boom. Next is the green and orange. So then put this down here. And then for this last step, you just intuitively connect up the corner and edges. Now here we have an OLL case, and I'm gonna teach you beginner OLL because I do not know full OLL. Now remember, OLL is called orient last layer, shortened down. So for this one, this is an L case, and if you have oriented any way other, you have to orient it to this where it's going this way. Now the algorithm for this is gonna be on the screen, but let's do it. So wide F, R, U, R prime, U prime, and boom. This is the soon, and the way I do the soon is gonna be confusing, but let's just try it. So R, U, wide R prime, F, R prime, F prime, and then wide R prime, back to here. And this is a J perm. This is a J perm permutation. And since I'm doing this beginner style, we do the T perm algorithm. So if you remember what it was, I will not show it again, but if you remember what it was, then you just do this. And then this is a U perm. So you do R, U, R, oh wait, no, those are U prime. R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2, and U2. So I hope this tutorial helped you along with notation and a small tutorial on 3x3. But I'm also going to show another case for OLL. This is called the line case. And how you solve it is F, R, U, R prime, U prime. And then heads to this cross in the middle. And I'm going to teach this algorithm in another time. And then the other case you can get is hold on, I'm messing up, hold on. And the other case you can get is a dot case where let me just demonstrate it. Okay, so I cannot demonstrate it for some reason. Sorry about that. But what I'm trying to say is that all the edges and corners are either facing, some of them are facing up, but all the edges are not facing up. That's a dot case. So the corners can be facing up, but the edges are not facing up. That's a dot case. And what you have to do is just the line algorithm I did, like the algorithm for the line case. And then you do the L case algorithm. So I hope this tutorial helped you out, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.